Our starting point today, the escalating tensions between the two Koreas. Emergency meetings have been held in Seoul and Pyongyang, and the militaries of both Koreas are on high alert.
Now, this follows the exchange of artillery fire across the border yesterday and landmine blasts that maimed two South Korean soldiers earlier this month. For the latest, we go live to our Kim Hyun at the Defense Ministry in Seoul. Hyun, we're hearing reports that the North's forward area units are in full preparation for military action.
Sure thing. North Korean leader Kim Jong has declared a quasi state of war and ordered his chief commanders to join frontline troops to prepare for military operations.
We have received orders from the Supreme Commander to fully arm our troops on the border and issue a quasi-state of war starting at 5 p.m. on Friday.
Military officials say that they have detected movements of Scud and Rodong missiles, which can be fired at any given moment. Scud missiles have a range of 500 kilometers, while Rodong missiles can cover up to 1,200 kilometers, meaning that both are able to target the Korean peninsula when fired from the border. The military says it is keeping close watch for any movements. Amid the high tensions, Defense Minister Han Min-gu released a statement to the nation on Friday, assuring the public and putting his foot on the ground on North Korean issues.
If North Korea decides to provoke, as we warned, we will retaliate mercilessly and make them pay. Korea-US is under a mutual assistance system and will contain future provocations from Pyongyang.
Han said earlier in the day that the provocation could take place soon after the deadline tomorrow. Mr. Han emphasized that the military will strongly counter any provocations from the North. Now, South Korea's defense ministry sent a message to Pyongyang through their inter-Korean communication line Friday morning, and stated that the recent landmine explosions at the DMZ were a clear violation of the Armistice Agreement and the Non-Aggression Pact. It also emphasized that if North Korea launches another provocation, Seoul and Washington will be justified in exercising self-defense by strongly retaliating, with North Korea clearly at fault.
Well, I mean, the timing of this sudden escalation is noteworthy and unusual for North Korea, as it coincides with one of the biggest annual joint military drills between South Korea and the U.S. So how are the two allies cooperating at this moment?
Well, a South Korean military official says the two countries are currently working under the so-called Joint ROK-U.S. counter-provocation plan. Now, this means South Korea's chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Choi Yoon-hee, and U.S. Forces Korea Commander General Curtis Scott Barati are sharing military intelligence in real time. Now, the plan, which was adopted a couple years ago, allows the U.S. to help the South during local provocations. And in fact, this is the first time in almost 40 years that Seoul and Washington are sharing joint operation systems in real time. Now, as you mentioned, the two countries are engaged in their Urji Freedom Guardian exercises, drills the North regularly condemns, now accusing them of being a rehearsal for war. Now, the U.S. has brought over state-of-the-art weaponry for the exercise, including A-10 bombers and Bradley tanks, and South Korea has deployed its F-15s and Aegis destroyers for the drills.
Now, the level of tensions we're experiencing right now is quite disturbing. Seoul's reaction as of late is quite a contrast to its usual calm and collected manner of the past. So, will South Korea continue to blast the propaganda broadcasts across the border?
Yes, South Korea is refusing to let North Korea dictate its actions, as Seoul resumed the broadcast in the early hours of Friday morning at 1 a.m. Korea time, to be exact. And South Korea's frontline military units are on their highest alert, known as Shindoke-1. Now, this system is similar to the watch gun system used by the United States. Now, it means troops are in full military gear with live ammo and are waiting orders. So, clear indication there of how seriously South Korea is taking this. Now, the sharp escalations in tensions comes after North Korea warned on Thursday that it will take further military action if South Korea continues to broadcast anti-Pyongyang material across the border. It says Seoul have 48 hours to power down the loudspeakers. So given the time of the announcement, the deadline once again is Saturday, 5 p.m. Korea time. This has been Kim Hyun reporting live from the Ministry of National Defense in Seoul.